How you started?
Help us to earn some money.
Are you utilizing AI right now in your projects?
We're going to be losing money for quite a long time.
Where you're acquiring new leads.
Don't sell computers at computer exhibition.
Do you mentor people?
Where do I start?
Hi guys, today we have Alex. Alex doing software and hardware development of different products, and today we're gonna learn how he started. Alex, tell me, what exactly you're doing?
Long story short, we help startups and global companies innovate and create new products. We work with a lot of startups with an idea in mind, and we help them move from their proof of concept prototype to their more refined prototype, launch their first product, and then eventually come to production. And more specifically, we work with the hardware products, like a physical smart products. Like think about like your smartphone, your smartwatch. So we work with those kind of devices. So consumer electronics, Internet of Things, robotics, physical smart products.
How come you started doing this? How you started?
I've been an engineer myself. I started as developing complex industrial machines. Think about their multi-million-dollar machines that I used to produce like a big metal parts. So I was doing a lot of hardware development for the company. And when I first came to the US, I was hired to do the same job. And I quickly realized that the job I was doing myself, part-time, 5 guys were doing here in LA. And I was wondering why it's such inefficient, why do you need that many people? That struck me, and I opened a company the same night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. How you started? You opened a company, and then where did you get your clientele?
I was just, the freelance was just getting started back in the day. So it was like 2014. I went online, I looked for that service, and I just posted a job. I got someone like from Australia contacted me next day, like to do some small job. I've done it. And my mentality was I wanted to bring the same level of experience and attention to small startups as global companies are required. At the time, I was interviewing with Tesla, with Apple, with those guys. And imagine you are a small startup and you get the same attention and interest as big companies ask during the interview. Okay. That's how we started. We were just doing the same thing as we were growing up, offering the same service as big companies are asking for, but for smaller clients.
Nice, interesting. Even if you have a company, the main problem is distribution of your product.
Yes.
You have your product, which is service, and how you distribute it, where you're acquiring new leads.
We started doing that online, and there is a big disproportion of how much business the first company gets versus everyone else. So our goal from inception was to pick an area where we're going to be absolute experts to be number one in everything. So we found a few platforms and we quickly became like number one. I quickly started hiring people. So in a matter of couple of months, we became like number one profile on that platform. That's how we started. Just online, like no office, nothing, just doing complete remote. As I was saying, we started remote work before it was trendy.
Nice.
We've been completely online for the first couple of years. We quickly realized that if you want to work with the bigger clients, you have to be offline, have to go to the events. And since then, we go to a lot of trade shows. One good friend told me, don't sell computers at computer exhibition. It just struck with me. And since then, we're trying to find places, for example, entrepreneurs events or educational events, and we are there where clients don't expect to be solicited to. And I don't sell to them. I just advise, and they ask to hire us.
Here you go, yeah.
We don't sell, we advise.
It's nice. The same works with like if you have idea and you're trying to raise money, ask for advice, you're gonna get money. Ask for money, you're gonna get advice.
Exactly.
Nice, smart move.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like it. Do you think it's relatively easy to start on online platforms as a freelancer?
I think there is a big competition there. It's easy to start, but the lower the bar for entrance, the more competition you're going to get. So there are a lot of inexpensive people. So your number one question will be, how do you differentiate yourself? We had a mindset in mind that let's do something hard, let's be absolute expert in that and grow from there. You can then offer additional complementary services, but you have to start with something where you're going to be number one. So if you are an expert in something, if you're an expert designer, if you are programmer, if you are English translator or something like that, and you can be number one in something or in the region, it's relatively easy to start and just do a great job, care about your clients. And one of the things that allowed us to be very successful in the early days is our track record. Track record is everything. You lose your credibility, you lose your business. So we had a mindset in mind that if you care about each client, if you make sure every single client you work with is satisfied with your work, you're going to have a raving fans and you're going to have a business. That's what we're doing till this day.
Nice, nice. I like it a lot. What is the biggest challenges you have to overcome during your entrepreneurship?
Oh, it's where do I start?
Yeah. It's always like, but the biggest that is like a really good lesson that you took a lot of information out of it and you're ready to share.
I think you should understand when you are doing something entrepreneurship, it's never a dull day. It's always something new. If you've been doing the same job for X amount of days or X amount of months, most probably just stagnating. So you should be comfortable being uncomfortable. Every single day, I'm waking up with thinking that someone else is waking up with sole intention of just winning my clients. So I'm thinking who they are, what are they doing better than I do, and trying to do it better. So they want to kick my ass, but I'm not going to give up easy.
Yeah.
So, and in technology world, technology is moving really rapidly, and especially one of the biggest challenges we see these days is the society has been going toward globalization when you spread, for example, manufacturing of a product in several countries.
Yep.
But these days, the world is going in the opposite direction. So US, China, some Eastern European countries, they're trying to diversify themselves, trying to be self-sustainable. And for us, being in a very global business, electronics manufacturing is extremely global business. So you have to be able to get parts from different parts of the world. So when you have those artificial challenges, artificial barriers, it's definitely hard. One of the hardest things for us as a company was probably shortage of semiconductors. So we design products, it takes months and months to design something, and then you come to manufacturing. And imagine that after a year of engineering, you're trying to manufacture something, but those components are no longer available.
Yeah.
And you have to start over, and sometimes it may be 2, 3, 4 iterations. So being able to predict those is probably the biggest thing we learn as a company.
Question about artificial intelligence. What would you say about nowadays?
Artificial intelligence is not new. It's been there for quite some time. For the first time, it's been available for regular people. Businesses have been using AI in some way or another for quite a long time. It's for the first time that it got to the level that it can be given to people without special knowledge, and they can some meaningful results out of it. I remember we knew about OpenAI at least for 3-4 years. Mm-hmm. When they started, Sam Altman, at one of the meetings, people asked him, how do you intend to make money as a company? And he honestly said, I don't know. We're going to be losing money for quite a long time. But at some point, we might create artificial intelligence, which might be intelligent enough. And we're going to ask it, help us to earn some money. People were laughing at him. But these days, you can actually ask ChatGPT or another chat, like, help me to make some money. So that's what I think is the biggest breakthrough about technology, that it's as easy to use for someone who never seen technology before.
Do you see as a potential threat, or are you utilizing AI right now in your projects?
It's not about AI versus people, it's people versus people plus AI. So if someone is using AI efficiently, they're going to be more efficient. I don't think it's going to replace people in their jobs, but I think it's going to make them more efficient. For example, let's talk about software development, for instance. The salaries in software industry are quite elevated. And what's possible is to automate some routine job, like to create a button, to create some simple website. You shouldn't be paying someone for a junior job that much. So I think that entry-level jobs will be replaced by AI, and people who are really the architects, really the expert in their job, they're going to be in demand, and they're going to be using AI to be more efficient.
I see. Interesting. But you use AI on a daily basis in your projects?
We do. We do develop 2 software products using AI to help certain professionals to be even more efficient, to make that experience even simpler. I think, as society is progressing, machines and software is becoming more intelligent, but people unfortunately become lazier. The whole intention of products we are developing is to make it even simpler. You come to your job, you press a button, and you get the result. As easy as that.
Nice. If you're gonna start everything from scratch with your company, what would you do differently?
I would get a job in sales based on commission. So I'm gonna find some high ticket product with a high commission I can sell. I'm gonna teach myself how to sell again. I'm gonna accrue some capital. Then I'm gonna find out some new skill that is in demand in that area or new product, new hot niche, and then I'll start a company with money I save. So it's not really that hard. It's about product and sales. So if you know those two, how to sell and how to manage some people, you're going to be successful in an economy.
That's good. That's a good point. Do you mentor people?
I think mentorship is a bit overrated. You shouldn't be looking for a guru who knows all the answers. Ideally, you have all the answers inside you. Sometimes if you work with someone, they just help you to find those answers inside you. They don't live your own life. But if you're looking for a mentor, I think the best place to start is to find a person who lives the life you want to, learn what they do, how do they get there, learn about their interest, and instead of asking for advice, like be my mentor, just start conversation with something they're interested in. So if someone is interested in electric vehicles, be an expert in EVs. And when you start conversation with them, offer them some information valuable for them. You might be sending some information to them, and at some point they're going to notice you. That's how you establish meaningful connection. If you come to someone point blank, be my mentor, your chances are none to zero.
You mentioned that you know Sam Altman. How are you meeting these people? Like, what do you do? And do they help you?
Technology is a pretty small world. So everyone who is doing some meaningful job know each other from one connection or another. Sam believes in distributing immense value created by AI equally for all people. And the way they want to do that through cryptocurrency. One of the companies he co-founded called Worldcoin, they're creating cryptocurrency that's going to be globally accepted. Once they onboard a new person, they give them a portion of the cryptocurrency.
Okay.
To do that, they need a way to scan people and to do it without documents. So they were developing a device called the Orb to actually scan people more precisely than any scanner in the world can do. So it's an immensely complex device with a 5 camera, sensors, everything. And we work with them to develop certain parts of that device. That's how we got to know his team and him.
Wow, that's impressive. So basically they found your company and they asked to help with this job. Nice.
Those companies, you cannot just approach them and ask them to work with you.
Yeah.
They have to find you. So whatever you do in technology world, eventually people will start coming to you. That's how you get the highest value clients and best connections. Don't sell, but be valuable and they will find you.
Where do you find inspiration for your work?
Great question. I think in general, technology should solve problems, not to create those. So I'm just looking at what problems people around me have or I personally have, and look how technology can solve those. So you shouldn't be thinking, oh, what's the cool tech and where to apply it. Think about the problem, some inefficiency in the world. So if you find the big enough problem, you're going to have a big enough business. So find a problem, offer valuable solution for people, solution they cannot live without. When you're just getting started, you should look for a niche problem and solve it so well that if your product goes out of business, people will be screaming and asking you to put it back. So on level of satisfaction, for example, Google and their services are like at the highest level. If Google goes out of business, people will be protesting on the street. So as a startup, think about the niche problem, make a solution. That's how you find a good product to start with. And then eventually you find economy of scale, offering it to more people.
Nice, I like it. I like it a lot. If you work in an industry of development, you probably need to have certain level of education. For young people who is deciding should they go get a college degree or shouldn't, what would you say? Would you go get a college degree or would you learn everything on your own?
I believe that higher education has certain benefits. It's about discipline. It's about ability to learn new skills. What I think about college degree is it teaches you how to get new knowledge. If you're disciplined enough to get the same amount of knowledge on your own in different areas of life, you can do it on your own. But the fact is, the majority of people are just a bit lazy enough and they need someone to push them through some framework. So I think if you go to college, just be open and just know that whatever you learn in college is going to be obsolete in a year, or in 2 years and 5 years, and just be very quick at picking up new skills, new knowledge, and ability operating with minimal information or without some critical information. That's essential. You learn how to negotiate, you learn how to socialize, and you learn to learn new skills.
What is your past before this company? What have you been doing?
I like to put it this way. I've been an engineer by trade, but I'm an entrepreneur by heart. I was doing, some small buy and sell businesses, like when I was buying something in China and selling it as a local at profit, which was actually a good business. And I was surprised how much profit you can make when you just find good enough problem. And I was just finding some products in China and offering them on local market, which was great. But my heart was always in engineering, and I wanted to do something meaningful, something hard. And I was doing complex things which are even hard to explain. So when I was starting a company, I was like, let's do something that I'm gonna talk to my grandmother and she's gonna understand what I'm doing. That's how we started.
Nice. Listening to you inspires. You're really very, very smart human being. What 3 advices you're gonna give to someone who just starting with their idea?
You need to be comfortable learning new skills constantly. Learning never stops. Learning never stops when you leave college, when you got a job. Always be in a mindset that you have to learn a new skill. Every business, every job is about sales. Even if you are an engineer, teacher, musician, you have to sell either your skills or your product. So you have to understand how to sell. You have to be comfortable selling. And again, my advice is try not to sell, but offer something and they're gonna come to you. And I think finally is to learn how to manage people. Every business or every operation is about working with people. So you need to learn how to motivate people, how to criticize them, and how to drive them, and how to treat them in the same way I want to be treated.
It's very valuable advices. Yeah, I like it a lot. Yeah, Alex, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking your time.